you're thinking about a small group, the things that come to mind in my mind are small and group. Now, small is usually bad. In America, we like things big. The bigger, the better. And group, it means you can't make it on your own. So small group is kind of the worst of all worlds. It's small, but not big enough to be a big group, and it's a group, which means you can't make it on your own. I like to go to big events. The bigger, the better, where there's lots of people, and there's lots of things to do. Small groups virtually require you to interact with other people. You can go to a small group meeting, and immediately when you get there, other people are asking you how you're doing, how was your day, how was your week, and it's almost impossible to ignore them and to just blend in. In a small group, you're really required to interact with people on a personal level, and honestly, most people just aren't comfortable with that. Let's face it. When you're part of a small group, there's often times for people to share a lot of intimate details of their lives and get help on some things. And I don't like that. Nobody likes that. When you first come into a meeting, there's usually somebody there that greets you at the door. And immediately you know this is just not a place I'm going to blend in and be able to be a fly on the wall. You know, people are going to want me to talk. People are going to want me to interact, and that can be very uncomfortable. I like to go to big events, much more than small events. In a big event, nobody even knows you're there. You can come and go, and nobody will even notice. That's what I like. Small group isn't like church. You know, in church, you can come a little bit late, you can leave a little bit early, and pretty much avoid all human contact. Small group's not like that. It's impossible to avoid human contact. In a small group, you get to know everyone very well. Everyone knows you very well, and everybody becomes comfortable with each other and sharing a lot about themselves. Unfortunately, in a small group, eventually what's going to happen is someone new is going to come in. Then you're going to have to learn their name. You're going to have to learn some things about them. And there's going to be less time to devote to you and your problems. So in a small group, if you have an open chair, you're just inviting somebody to come in, really. And then there's problems. Problems. What's the worst thing about small group? Homework. It's definitely the homework. You can't just blow through it, okay? If you don't get everything done during the small group, then you get homework, okay? And this isn't like the homework you had in high school, okay? You've got to do this homework. You can't just blow right through it. You've got to think about it, you've got to do your reading, and you've got to be prepared for the next week. If you're not prepared, it can get nasty. The small group leaders really force the homework to be done. They've got a lot of power. More power than you think they have. Oh, they do. What happens if you don't do all the homework for small group? Well, next time, guess who gets to read all the Bible passages? All of them. That's right. You do. And if they're having something really good to eat, like chocolate cake, do you think you get any? No way, man. You don't get any of that chocolate cake just because of the homework. Another thing that can happen to you if you don't do your homework is they can banish you to the kids' room and not let you out. And the kids, they can refuse to play with you and not give you any of their candy too. And it's very difficult. And prayer in a small group setting, that can be so stressful. You know, they ask you, could you pray for the person on your left? I mean, for goodness sake, I don't even remember their name. What am I supposed to do? It's really stressful to pray in that small group because it's so hard to come up with something that's really going to wow the audience. Second worst thing in a small group is the food. It's the food. Because you know who hosts a small group meeting? It's somebody who's got the gift of hospitality. And what do they make? Food, and lots of it. So, if you're going to be a member of a small group, you can just count on gaining a lot of weight. A lot of weight. There's no way around it. People gaining 5, 10, even 15 pounds every meeting. This stuff happens. Don't laugh. It happens. Yeah. Anybody who's concerned at all about their weight or gaining weight, don't go anywhere near a small group, because you're going to, okay? There's no way to avoid it. Absolutely no way.